The internet is on fire right now, and fans cannot believe what just went down. Drake, the global rap superstar, who shocked everyone by joining Kick and Stake, has just quit in the most dramatic fashion imaginable. After none other than Eddie. Craven, the mastermind behind Stake's meteoric rise, called him out publicly in a move that nobody saw coming. And if that wasn't enough fuel for this already explosive drama, Aiden Ross, the streaming world's most chaotic figure, has jumped straight into the fire with his own reaction that has fans either cheering or clutching their pearls. Picture this: one of the world's most famous rappers being dragged on social media by a business mogul who was once his biggest supporter. Picture millions of fans watching their favorite platforms split into warring factions overnight. Picture Aiden Ross, known for never holding back, stirring the pot even further with his wild takes. This isn't just internet gossip, this is betrayal, ego, and pride colliding in a storm that threatens to break apart not only friendships but entire communities online. So what really happened behind the scenes? Why did Drake walk away? And what role did Aiden's reaction play in this shocking fallout? Stay tuned. The drama started quietly, like a storm building far away on the horizon. But it didn't take long before it consumed every corner of the internet. Drake's relationship with Kick and Saint K was once celebrated like a marriage. Between music royalty and the flashy new world of streaming, the deals, the promotions, the collabs with big streamers, everything looked golden on the outside. Insiders whispered that behind the scenes, tension was brewing. Eddie Craven, the sharp-tongued businessman whose vision made Street K a global powerhouse, had grown frustrated. According to people close to him, Eddie felt Drake wasn't pulling his weight. The rapper was cashing the checks, sure, but when it came to showing up, promoting consistently, and delivering that spark of authenticity, Eddie thought Drake was falling short. And Eddie isn't the type to keep those feelings private. One late night, a clip surfaced that changed everything. Eddie, during what looked like an informal conversation caught on a backstage camera, said words no one expected. "Drake doesn't care about the culture. He just shows up for the bag. We need real ambassadors, not ghosts." The internet exploded. Fans couldn't believe he said it, and within hours, #EDFStrake was trending across platforms. Drake, who had built his brand on being untouchable, suddenly looked vulnerable. Friends of the rapper revealed that he felt blindsided. Drake, this wasn't just business, it was personal. After all I've done for them, he comes at me like that. Drake allegedly told a close associate. The betrayal stung, and that pain soon turned into rage. The tension boiled over the next evening when Drake went live. Millions of viewers tuned in, expecting maybe a calm clarification, but what they got instead was pure fire. Drake's face was calm at first, but his voice trembled with controlled fury. "I put my name on the line for them," he said. "I showed up when nobody else of my level would. And now Eddie Craven thinks he can question me. Nah, that's not happening." The chat flooded with reactions. Some fans rallied behind Drake, calling Eddie a snake for biting the hand that fed him. Others sided with Eddie, arguing that Drake had indeed been distant and disengaged. The divide was real. It wasn't just fans fighting in comments sections, industry insiders were choosing sides too. And then came the twist no one expected. Aiden Ross, the controversial streamer whose entire career thrives on chaos, decided he wasn't going to sit this one out. During his own stream, Aiden leaned back in his chair, smirking as he replayed Eddie's leaked clip over and over. "Yo, Eddie's spitting facts." He laughed, almost taunting Drake indirectly. "You can't just take the bag and dip, bro. This ain't how it works." Aiden's reaction poured gasoline on the fire. Because for years, Drake and Aiden had shared what seemed like a cool, almost brotherly connection. They hung out on streams, exchanged jokes, and even teased collaborations. So for Aiden to echo Eddie's words, it felt like betrayal all over again. The ripple effects were immediate. Drake's fan base swarmed Aiden's socials, accusing him of clout chasing and disrespect. Meanwhile, Aiden's loyal viewers defended him, claiming he was just being real and not sugarcoating anything. The feud lines were clear, and the drama was only escalating. Behind closed doors, Drake reportedly called up mutual friends, venting about Aiden's disloyalty. One source close to the rapper shared that Drake said Aiden was supposed to ride with me, not against me. He just showed his true colors. But if Drake thought Aiden would back down, he was sorely mistaken. The very next day, Aiden doubled down, this time addressing Drake directly during his stream. "Listen, I got love for you," Aiden said, with a half-serious tone, "but if you're gonna be in this space, you gotta be consistent. You can't ghost the community and then get mad when people call you out. Eddie's not wrong, bro." He just said what everyone else was thinking. Fans were stunned. Emotions ran high, and the online community was left divided. On one side, Drake loyalists defended his legacy, saying he didn't need to prove himself to anyone. On the other side, Aiden's camp applauded his honesty, praising him for speaking truth to power. And in the middle of it all was Eddie Craven, the man who had unknowingly sparked a cultural earthquake. By this point, the fallout had gone beyond entertainment gossip. Blogs, podcasts, and even mainstream news outlets began covering the feud. Headlines screamed about betrayal, fractured friendships, and the future of streaming culture. The most chilling part, though, was the silence from Drake after Aiden's comments. For days, he disappeared. No posts, no appearances, no streams. Fans speculated endlessly. Some claimed he was strategizing a comeback. Others feared he was considering cutting ties altogether. Whispers grew louder that a major announcement was coming, and soon those whispers turned into undeniable anticipation. The stage was set for something explosive. And just when everyone thought things couldn't get messier, Drake finally returned this time, not with words but with action. He unfollowed both Eddie Craven and Aiden Ross on every platform. The digital gesture, small as it might seem, was a nuclear bomb in internet culture. In today's world, an unfollow isn't just a click, it's a declaration of war. Fans immediately noticed. Screenshots spread like wildfire, and the narrative shifted from confusion to outright battle. The atmosphere was electric. Drake versus Eddie, Drake versus Aiden. And lurking behind every headline was the question no one could ignore. Was Drake about to walk away from Kick and Saint K for good? The answer came sooner than anyone expected. The answer came sooner than anyone expected. DOT didn't just walk away quietly. He detonated the whole partnership with a single live stream that fans are calling one of the most emotional moments of his career. When he finally appeared back online, the energy in the chat was insane. Millions were waiting, fingers glued to their keyboards, desperate to see what he would say. Drake sat in a dimly lit studio, his face serious, his voice carrying the weight of frustration and betrayal. "I gave them my time, my energy, my face, my name," he began slowly, almost whispering. "And when it mattered, they treated me like I was disposable. I don't need to be part of something that doesn't respect me. So I'm done. I'm done with Kick. I'm done with Saint K. Its chapter is closed." The silence that followed was deafening. Then, like a tidal wave, the chat exploded. Fans spammed messages of heartbreak, disbelief, and anger. Some begged him to reconsider. Others praised him for taking a stand. Hashtags like #DrakeQuits and #FreeFromSaint K shot straight to the top of trending lists. But it wasn't just fans reacting. Within minutes, Eddie Craven posted a cryptic message on his own socials. "Loyalty is proven in actions, not words. We'll be just fine." Though short, the statement felt like a dagger aimed directly at Drake's chest. The subtext was clear. Eddie wasn't begging him to stay. In fact, he was implying the company would thrive without him. And then came Aiden Ross. Of course, Aiden couldn't resist. He went live almost immediately after Drake's announcement. A mischievous grin plastered across his face. Bro really quit on stream like it's a mic drop. Aiden laughed. Look, I love Drake, but come on, man. Don't just rage quit a whole platform. You talk it out, you fix it. This is crazy. But then his tone shifted. Leaning closer to the camera, he added, unless. Less this ain't really about Eddie. Less there's more behind the scenes that none of us know about. Those words set the internet ablaze again. What did Aiden mean? Was there another layer to this drama? Was there something hidden, something darker that pushed Drake over the edge? Speculation ran wild. Meanwhile, Drake's inner circle was reportedly divided. Some of his closest friends supported his decision, telling him he deserved better than public humiliation. But others worried that he had made a rash move. This was emotional, not strategic. One insider allegedly said, "He just burned a bridge that might have been too valuable to lose." Family members were dragged into the storm too. A cousin of Drake's, who rarely speaks publicly, posted a story that read, "You can only play with someone's name for, so long before they remind you who they are." Fans took it as a subtle clapback at Eddie, proof that even Drake's family felt the sting of disrespect. And yet, as the hours passed, more rumors began to surface. Whispers that Eddie had receipts proof that Drake had failed to meet certain obligations in their contract. Some blogs claimed Eddie had private emails where Drake's team repeatedly declined to engage with the streaming community. Others suggested Eddie was preparing to release footage of behind the scenes negotiations that painted Drake in a selfish light. The tension was unbearable. On one side, Drake appeared as the betrayed artist, standing up for his dignity. On the other, Eddie was gearing up to prove that Drake wasn't as innocent as he claimed. And right in the middle, Aiden Ross kept throwing out theories, fueling chaos with every word. The turning point came during an unplanned moment. A fan somehow leaked an audio clip allegedly from a private call between Eddie and another executive. In it, Eddie could be heard saying, "Drake's bigger than all of us, but he doesn't act like he cares. I need people who care." The clip was raw, emotional, and painted Eddie not as a villain, but as a man frustrated by someone he once admired. When fans heard the audio, the narrative shifted again. Suddenly, Eddie didn't look like the cold businessman people assumed him to be. He sounded human, even hurt. Some fans started questioning Drake's role in the fallout. "Maybe Eddie wasn't wrong," one comment read. "Maybe Drake really wasn't giving enough." Aiden seized on this shift immediately. On his next stream, he replayed the leaked audio and added his commentary. "See, Eddie's not a hater. He actually cared. That's why this hurts him so much. And Drake, bro, if you walked away without even trying to fix it, then maybe this one's on you." The backlash against Drake grew louder. Hashtags supporting Eddie started trending. Fans who once blindly supported Drake began questioning his decisions. And for the first time, Drake seemed to be losing control of the narrative. That's when Drake snapped, in a shocking move. He returned to live once again, this time, not calm, not measured, but furious. His voice was raised, his emotions raw. "You want to leak calls? You want to paint me like I didn't care? Nah. I was there when it mattered. I brought attention, I brought legitimacy, I brought the world to your platform. And this is how you repay me. By questioning me. By disrespecting me? No, I don't need this." Fans watched in awe as Drake's anger spilled out, unfiltered and unpolished. Some applauded his passion. Others cringed, saying he was making things worse. But one thing was clear, he wasn't backing down. And then the most unexpected twist. So far, Drake revealed that he wasn't just quitting Kick and St. K. He hinted at launching his own project. "If they don't want me," he said, eyes burning with intensity, "I'll build something bigger, something real. Something that doesn't crumble the second someone speaks their mind." The room fell silent. The chat froze. What did that mean? Was Drake starting his own streaming platform? A new partnership? A rival to everything Eddie had built? Nobody knew for sure, but the possibility was enough to shake the industry to its core. Eddie reportedly responded behind closed doors with fury, telling associates, "If he tries to compete with us, we'll bury him." Meanwhile, Aiden laughed. During his next stream, almost in disbelief. "Q, imagine Drake trying to make his own kick. That'd be wild. I'd stream on it though, I'm not gonna lie." The lines of battle were clearer than ever. Drake was no longer just leaving, he was threatening to replace. Eddie was preparing for war. And Aiden, caught between loyalty and entertainment, was riding the wave of chaos for all it was worth by now. Fans weren't just watching, they were invested like it was the finale of a reality series. Friendships were tested, arguments raged. In group chats, an entire online community split down the middle, and still. The question lingered, was Drake serious about his new venture, or was it just an emotional threat? The answer was coming soon, just days after dropping the bombshell about creating something bigger, something real. Drake's silence returned, but this time it felt calculated. Whispers began to swirl that the rapper wasn't just talking in anger. Insiders claimed he was holding secret meetings in Toronto, inviting investors, developers, and even former executives from other platforms to discuss a brand new venture. The code name, according to one leak, was the Owl Project. Fans went wild dissecting the rumor. Some swore it was just a metaphor, Drake flexing his pride and power. Others insisted it was concrete proof that he was gearing up to rival Kick and Saint K directly. Entire Reddit threads were filled with theories, some going as far as saying Drake already had contracts lined up with streamers willing to jump ship the moment his platform launched. Eddie Craven wasn't taking any of it lightly. During a private industry conference, he reportedly told attendees, "Drake doesn't understand what it takes to run this world. Music isn't streaming. You can't just throw money and fame at it. This is business." Those words leaked to the press almost immediately, fueling the perception that Eddie was dismissive, even mocking of Drake's ambitions. But the story didn't stop there. Aiden Ross, ever the instigator, took things to another level when he went live with a mock demo pitch of what Drake's new platform might look like. Sitting in front of a green screen, he pretended to unveil Owlstream, complete with fake features like exclusive Drake concerts every week and virtual bottles of champagne you can send to your favorite streamers. His audience roared with laughter, and the clip went viral within hours. The internet was divided again. Some accused Aiden of disrespecting Drake, calling him a sellout who only wanted attention. Others praised him for his humor, saying he was the only one brave enough to poke fun at the chaos. But behind the jokes, there was tension brewing. Aiden's parody reached Drake himself, and according to sources close to him, Drake did not find it funny. "He thinks this is a game," Drake reportedly said in frustration to a friend. "But this is my name, my brand, my life. If he wants to laugh, fine. But when I move, he won't be laughing anymore." And move he did. Without warning, Drake announced an exclusive live event, an event he described as a conversation that's going to change the game forever. Speculation reached fever pitch. Fans lined up virtually, counting down the hours. Everyone wanted to know, was he really launching his own platform? Was this the end of his friendship with Aiden? Was Eddie about to be replaced as the kingpin of streaming? The night of the event, the tension was unbearable. The stream opened with a cinematic montage of Drake's career highlights, sold-out tours, chart-topping records, viral cultural moments. Then the camera cut to him sitting on a sleek black couch, dressed in all white, the room lit dramatically behind him. "I've heard the jokes," he began calmly. "I've seen the disrespect. But what they don't realize is this side don't need them, they need me. And that's why today I'm announcing the future." Gasps filled the chat. Hearts pounded. Drake leaned forward. "This isn't just about music. This isn't just about streaming. This is about building a space that actually respects the people who give it life. No backroom politics, no disrespect. It's just talent, community, and authenticity. It's time. Welcome to the Owl Project. The reveal wasn't just talk. Drake displayed a sleek logo on screen. A stylized owl with glowing eyes and announced that a beta version of his new platform would launch within months. Fans erupted in excitement. This wasn't a bluff. This was real. Eddie Craven, however, wasn't impressed. Within hours, he released a rare video statement. Sitting in his office, his tone was calm but sharp. Drake is an incredible artist, but streaming is not a hobby. It's an ecosystem. He underestimates the scale of what it takes. We've built something that works, and no celebrity ego can replace it. It was a direct challenge, and fans knew it. The lines were no longer blurred. It was Eddie versus Drake, Empire versus Rebellion. But where did that leave Aiden Ross? The streamer found himself in a complicated spot. Though he had laughed at Drake's ambitions before, now he was faced with a real dilemma. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Aiden confessed during a late-night stream. If Drake really pulls this off, it's gonna be crazy. Like, I might have to actually stream on Owl Project, no cap. His chat exploded with chaos. Begged him to commit. Others warned him not to betray Eddie. Aiden smirked, clearly enjoying the drama, but deep down he knew whatever decision he made would have consequences. As the days passed, more streamers started voicing opinions. Some smaller creators openly declared their support for Drake's Owl Project, claiming they felt neglected by Kick and were ready for change. Others doubled down on loyalty to Eddie, arguing that Drake was chasing clout and had no real plan. The community was fractured and emotions ran higher than ever. And then a shocking twist came to light. A leaked document surfaced online, an alleged contract draft from the Owl Project. It included potential sign-on bonuses for streamers, revenue splits that were far more generous than Kick, and promises of exclusive events. If true, this document proved that Drake was not only serious, but he had resources and investors backing him heavily. The leak sent shockwaves through the industry. Fans speculated which big names might defect. Rumors spread that even some of Kick's top streamers were in quiet talks with Drake's team. Eddie, furious, reportedly called an emergency meeting with his executives. If we lose talent to him, he said, according to one insider, it's not just business, it's war. The tension boiled over into public again when Aiden, seemingly caught off guard, admitted on stream that Drake had reached out to him. Privately, he hit me up, bro. Like, Drake literally called me. It was like, why are you clowning me when you could be part of this? I didn't even know what to say. Fans went insane. Was Aiden going to flip sides? Was he about to betray Eddie for Drake? The internet couldn't keep up with the twists. One moment, Drake was the underdog fighting for respect. The next, he was a visionary leader threatening to change everything. And somewhere between those extremes stood Aiden, torn between loyalty, ambition, and chaos. By the end of the week, one thing was certain. The Owl Project wasn't just an idea anymore. It was a reality, and it was coming fast. And that reality was about to change everything. The days following the Owl Project, ANNOUNCEMENT, felt like the build-up to a heavyweight fight. Fans were restless, streamers were nervous. And industry insiders whispered about what could become the biggest shakeup in online entertainment history. Drake's camp worked silently, dropping small teasers here and there, cryptic owl emojis, hints at exclusive features, and leaks of potential partnerships. Every post he made became breaking news. Eddie Craven, however, wasn't backing down. If Drake thought he could stroll into his empire and start poaching streamers, Eddie was determined to prove otherwise. In a bold move, Eddie announced an aggressive new bonus program for creators on Kick, offering cash incentives that dwarfed anything seen before. It was a clear attempt to tighten loyalty and make sure no one dared defect to Drake's side. But the real shock came when Aiden Ross, the wild card of this entire saga, dropped a bombshell of his own. During a chaotic late-night stream, after hours of dodging questions, he finally confessed. "Look, I gotta keep it real with you guys. I talked to Drake again. He wants me to be the face of Owl Project when it launches." Like, literally, he's asking me to be the #1 streamer on his platform. The chat exploded into madness. Some fans cheered, begging Aiden to join Drake and become part of something new. Others accused him of betrayal, calling him fake for even considering leaving Eddie. Aiden sat there, visibly torn, repeating, "Bro, I don't know what to do. This is too much." Behind the scenes, Drake was making his pitch hard. According to leaks, he offered Aiden a massive contract, bigger than anything Kick had ever given him. Not just money, but creative control, freedom to push boundaries, and a seat at the table for major decisions. It was more than a deal. It was a chance for Aiden to reinvent himself as a pioneer, not just as streamer. Eddie, hearing of the offer, was reportedly furious. Insiders say he called Aiden personally, demanding loyalty. "I made you," Eddie allegedly told him. "Without me, you wouldn't be where you are." Don't forget that. The conversation, though private, was described by those close to Aiden as heated and emotional. This was no longer just business. It had become personal, messy, and deeply emotional. Fans felt like they were watching a family fall apart live in front of their eyes. Drake, Eddie, and Aiden had once shared respect and camaraderie, but now it was reduced to accusations, ultimatums, and threats. Then came the twist nobody expected. Leaked screenshots hit the internet, messages that appeared to show Eddie insulting Aiden behind his back, calling him unreliable and reckless. Whether the screenshots were real or doctored, they spread like wildfire, and the damage was immediate. Aiden looked devastated on stream when fans spammed the messages in his chat. "Yo, if he really said that, that's crazy," he muttered, his voice heavy. "I thought he had my back." Suddenly, the tide shifted. For the first time, Aiden leaned more openly toward Drake's side. "Maybe I've been backing the wrong people," he said quietly, almost to himself, but loud enough for thousands to hear. Drake, sensing the moment, seized it. Within hours, he posted a simple message. "Some people only love you when you're useful, but real family stands forever. Owl family soon." The timing couldn't have been more perfect. Fans interpreted it as a direct invitation to Aiden, a symbolic embrace that contrasted sharply with Eddie's alleged betrayal. The internet erupted again. Was Aiden about to defect? Was Drake truly building a family? Or just manipulating emotions? Speculation reached a fever pitch, and every move felt like the climax of a reality show season finale. And then, the confrontation happened. During a surprise live session, Drake and Aiden appeared together on screen. No announcements, no warning, just the two of them sitting side by side. The chat went into meltdown instantly. Drake, calm but serious, looked directly at the camera. "There's been a lot of talk," he said. "A lot of lies, a lot of noise. But here's the truth. This is my brother. They tried to turn us against each other, but that ends now." Aiden nodded, looking emotional. "I got caught in the middle, bro. I didn't know who to trust, but after everything, I realized who really cares." The moment felt raw, authentic, and almost cinematic. Fans flooded the chat with owl emojis, declaring their allegiance to Drake's new movement. But if Drake thought this public show of unity would scare Eddie into silence, he was wrong. Within hours, Eddie fired back in the harshest way yet. He dropped a video that laid out his side of the story, complete with receipts, contracts, emails, schedules, evidence that, according to him, proved Drake had failed. "You can call me the villain if it helps your story," Eddie said coldly, "but facts don't lie. And the facts show who really walked away from their responsibilities." The reaction was nuclear. Fans were stunned, unsure who to believe. Drake's supporters accused Eddie of spinning the narrative of weaponizing business details to distract from his disrespect. Eddie's defenders claimed Drake was exposed, nothing more than a superstar who thought the rules didn't apply to him. Aiden, caught in the crossfire once again, broke down on stream, visibly overwhelmed. "Bro, this is too much. I'm being pulled in every direction. I don't even know what's real anymore." His vulnerability struck a chord with fans who sympathized with him. Even as the drama grew darker, the climax arrived when Drake made his boldest move yet. He officially unveiled the beta launch date for the Owl project, accompanied by a list of early streamers who had signed on. Though no massive names were on the list yet, it was enough to prove momentum. "This is the future," Drake declared. And whether they like it or not, it's already happening. Eddie's response was chillingly simple. "Good luck." The words felt less like a farewell and more like a threat, a warning that the battle was far from over. By the time the dust settled on this chapter, the internet was left buzzing with unanswered questions. Would Aiden fully commit to Drake? Or would Eddie find a way to pull him back? Could Drake's Owl project survive the brutal competition ahead? Or was it destined to crumble under pressure? And perhaps most importantly, was this feud just beginning? Or had we already witnessed the first shots of an all-out war that would reshape streaming forever? And there you have it. What started as a simple partnership between Drake, Kick, and Saint K has spiraled into one of the most shocking sagas the internet has ever seen. From Eddie Craven's blunt call-out to Drake's fiery exit, to Aiden Ross being pulled into the middle of a loyalty war, fans have witnessed betrayal, receipts, family drama, and the birth of a brand new empire in the Owl project. But even now, nothing feels settled. Eddie Craven has made it clear he isn't backing down. Drake has shown he's willing to risk everything to prove himself. And Aiden Ross, well, he's still caught between two worlds, his next move unpredictable. Emotions have run high, friendships have fractured, and entire communities have been divided. Some see Drake as a visionary fighting for respect. Others see him as a superstar running from accountability. Either way, the world is watching, and the next chapter could change the streaming landscape forever. So the question remains, who do you believe? Is Drake building something revolutionary? Or is Eddie right that this is all ego and hype? Should Aiden side with Drake and embrace the future, or stay loyal to the man who helped elevate his career? And most importantly, what happens when the Owl project finally launches? We'll be following every twist and turn of this story as it unfolds. But now we want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Whose side are you on, Drake, Eddie, or Aiden? Do you think Owl project has the power to dethrone Kick? Or is this just another chapter in internet drama that will fade away? Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown. Subscribe for more deep dives into the wildest celebrity and streaming feuds. And turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Because if this saga has proven anything, it's that the story is far from over.